That was Old Riley and the Water biting through, and for his very first time in Melbourne and in Australia, he's dropped into the studio to say hello. Absolute pleasure to have him in here. Sean Riley, welcome to Blues on the Hill.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. Thanks again, Baz.
Absolute pleasure. Now, congratulations on that album. As I was, we were just chatting off air about it. It's got great energy, it's got great passion and great soul. There are three vital things that set great music apart from good music.
Yeah, I think the energy was the most important part for us. Just to get that down in the moment. We recorded the band live with some overdubs on the vocals and chorus and some guitar too, but most of it was live in a rehearsal space or live in my own house. Recorded a lot of it in the living room of this, old Creole cottage that I live in the Garden District in New Orleans. So to bring that whole thing in and get that whole flavor going with some local guys was just really, really what I was going for.
That's awesome, and take me all the way back to when you first heard the blues. How did the blues come into your life? Do you remember?
I think it was through family members and vinyl records that my aunts had, and my mom and dad, and my grandmother had. My grandparents owned an antique store, and I think they had a lot of vinyl in the house and different things like that, and it was just kind of picking up on that old sound. And I don't know where the first thing I heard, but it was definitely Lightnin' Hopkins was the first song I heard that really got me. Mojo Hand,
Yeah.
That kind of feel that he was just doing with the guitar. It was so spooky. It was so interesting to me. And from there, I heard all the Chicago guys, and then obviously you hear Eric Clapton growing up, on the radio, classic rock in the States. It's all Clapton and Led Zeppelin and the English guys, and they're right there, man. And so I think it was that influence of all that really got to me. And then as I grew, I really kind of got into that country blues more and more.
I was going to say you stayed old school. You didn't sort of...
Kind of, yeah. I think it was just more of how I played. It kind of felt better playing that stuff. I was never a real, wailing, tight, smooth player. I was always just kind of dirty with it, I think that's kind of what I stuck to that.
And self-taught?
Pretty much. Self-taught as a youngster. And then I did take some lessons, theory lessons and some things like that. Tried my hand at some jazz guitar and some ragtime stuff, and I love all that too. But I always just went back to just picking up a slide and playing an open tuning as loud as I could, and that's kind of where I felt really comfortable.
Now you've got a beautiful National with you there.
Yeah.
Tell us about your resonator.
Oh man, so this is relatively new to me. This is a 1933 style O National, and I picked this up on the way here. So we had a stopover in Los Angeles to see some really good friends and family, and I was looking online at this one, and for a few months I've been looking at it, kind of dreaming about it, let's see. Way out of my price range, really. These always have been, but I've always wanted one of these since I was a teenager. So this was the grail, the holy grail for me.
Well, it still is for a lot of people.
No doubt, man. And so I lucked out, and I ended up meeting the fellow that was selling this. Was a caretaker for a family, and the widow of the guy that had this, it was his father's, and so it was bought brand new in 1933.
Wow.
And he apparently played it all through the South, Alabama, mostly, and probably through Mississippi and maybe New Orleans, and then moved to L.A. He had passed, gave it to his son. Son wasn't much of a player, so he just put it in the case and put it under his bed for about 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And this is it. So when I picked it up, it had been, there's a little, some fixes to it, but kind of minor, and the finish is a little off, but I think it makes it look really cool. Yeah, so they were just really trying to sell it because the widow needed some cash. So we made a really good deal on it, something that I could afford as a as a musician, you know. And it was an amazing thing to me to get this, and here it is.
Absolutely awesome. Well, let's give it a
cool. Should I play a tune or?
I think you should tell us about what you're going to play.
All right, I'll play. Try and Understand from the EP. Coming down the road, middle of the night, carrying that load, I just wanna see your light. Come on, baby, baby, try to understand. Well, I wanna be your lover, no, don't wanna be your old man. Got my old stomping boots, and a pocket full of songs. I wanna sing them blues till the morning brings it dawn. Come on, baby, baby, try and understand. Well, I wanna be your lover, don't wanna be your old man. Well, I gotta slip away when the morning brings the night. If I stay, yeah, sure, cause if I come on, baby, baby, try to understand me. Well, I wanna be your lover, don't wanna be your old man. Sweet thing, but it ain't the whole truth. Come on, baby, baby, try to understand. Well, I wanna be your lover, no, I said I don't wanna be your man. Well, from the high-five phone, the penny arcade, my dreams are just a picture. Well, I'm in the shade, come on now, baby, try to understand. Well, I wanna be your lover, don't wanna be your old man.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Sean Riley, live blues, folks. That is from the Biting Through EP. You can get that. Where can you get that, Sean?
You can get it from my website, oldrileyandthewater.com. You can get it through Spotify and iTunes and Google Music, Bandcamp.
All sorts of places.
Yeah, all sorts, everything. Pretty much anywhere you can get it online.
And what's Old Riley in the Water?
So, Old Riley is based on the old Leadbelly song, Old Riley. And in the song, you know, it talks about a prisoner or a man, or, you know, just chasing or getting chased by something. Usually is in the song, I believe he's getting chased by his demons. And he crosses the water, but it's not like a I don't think it's a Jesus sort of thing. I don't think it's religious or anything like that. I just think he's, his crossing the water is running as fast as he can and to get away from his demons or get out of the prison he's in. Now that's what the song means. For me, it's my last name. Kind of dug it, kind of fit. And the water, what I mean by Old Riley and the water, even though it does have something to do with the song, the water is kind of what I mean by the band that is usually behind me. Typically, I'm playing with a different band almost every gig I have in New Orleans, and even up in Brisbane, I play with some great guys up there. And so that's why I call it the water, because it's kind of a fluid band behind me. I do a lot of solo work, but when I do it with a band, sometimes and most of the time, it's a different band. So it's kind of a fluid thing, and I like to have a just nice revolving cast of people I can play with. So that's what it means.
Awesome. Now, while you're here, you've still got that guitar in your hand. We've got time for one more.
And this one's called Blues Walking. Howling wind and the pouring rain, the scratching and the tapping on my window pane. When I woke up this morning with that blue, walking around just like a man. With that queen of diamonds and the jokers too, they're stamping out, they're stomping on my jailhouse roof. Well, I woke up this morning with them blues, walking around just like a man. Yeah, well, up jumped that devil, tried to buy my soul. Yeah, leave me hanging on the gallows pole. Well, I woke up this morning with them blues, walking around just like a man. Walking around like a man. With a heap of trouble and a stack of woe. Yeah, when I woke up this morning, yeah, the fools walking around, yeah, just like a man. Walking around like a man. You know, I'm tattered and frayed, but I'm drunk and broke. Yeah, I'm hanging by a thread, tied to